Give us 60 minutes and we'll give you Nelson Radio every Saturday from 2 to 3 p.m. on KTLK AM 1150. With 29 years in the mortgage business and an array of top-level guests visiting the show, Nelson is in a unique position to bring you cutting-edge information on real estate, business, finance, and law. If you have any questions for Nelson or any of his guests, give him a call at 888-888-2136. That's 888-888-2136. Or check him out online at nelsonradio.com.
Nelson Radio.
Welcome back to Nelson Radio. As we broadcast remote for KTLK AM 1150, we're at a beautiful property that Lonnie Mintz has brought to market from Rodeo Realty. We're at 1285 Via Dinero out in Solvang and the San Ynez Valley. It is a beautiful property, very striking. And we're going to go a little bit later and go through some of the appointments of this home and take a look at why you should live here. It is a beautiful home. We'll have all of the photos from this property up on our website at nelsonradio.com. And you'll also be able to contact us direct, 888-888-2136. If you've dreamed of being in this area, we'll put you in contact with Lonnie Mintz, and he'll be able to share all the details. We've been discussing negotiations, and I want to make certain I reference our e-guide that'll also be on nelsonradio.com, the 5 keys to negotiating for your house successfully. Number 2 in this list is understanding your leverage. And I think it's a key point that needs to be focused on. If your seller is on the front page with an indictment, you've probably got clout. If your seller just received notice to relocate, you probably have some negotiating ability. If your seller is just filed for divorce, there's probably some outside motivators that are going to impact those negotiations. So do your due diligence, and that's really the key thing on this number 2 point. We'll have all 5 keys on our website at nelsonradio.com. Lonnie Mintz, a professional since 1998, with every organization he's been with, he's been acknowledged as one of the top performing professionals in the real estate space. A Diamond Award winner with Coldwell Banker, Honor Award winner with Prudential, and now at Rodeo Realty and leading the charge there. Lonnie, welcome to the program.
Thank you for having me. I sincerely appreciate it.
So Lonnie, let me ask, you've been with some of the major real estate organizations across the country. Rodeo Realty, a privately held company, one of the largest privately held companies. How does that benefit the customer, whether it's privately held or one of the major corporate conglomerates?
After having worked with Prudential and with Coldwell Banker in my past, I can say that both of them are fabulous companies. I wouldn't say anything negative about either one. However, that being said, working for a boutique firm as Rodeo really has its advantages. We are able to market and to advertise and to work with our clients in ways that the corporate entities just don't have that ability to do at this point in time. The owner of our company, Sid Leibovich, started the brand out as Paramount Properties, and we're based in Los Angeles and Beverly Hills, and switched over in 1986 to become Rodeo Realty. Mm-hmm. We now have 11 offices, we have 1,400 agents, and we dominate the LA market.
Yeah, how about that?
It's really a tremendous opportunity for sellers as well as buyers to use our not only local but our international clout that we have. And the other advantage of working with a boutique firm versus working with a corporate firm is the personal service that we provide. My clients know that from the time that I meet them to the time showing them around to properties, to negotiating the deal or selling their house, to handing the keys over, I'm with them every step of the way. And not only for the present time, but hopefully in their real estate future as well.
You know, it's interesting, Lonnie, the way that you go about your business, the way I look at it is that you're being hired as a key negotiator. And obviously, we've been talking about negotiations throughout this show. But as a negotiator, do you find that that time you spent on the corporate side helped groom you and develop you for now representing on the boutique side?
Absolutely. Having that corporate background and understanding, you brought up a very important term in your previous segment, which is leverage. And clients really need to know what the motivation is, whether they're negotiating with a buyer or a seller. Why do they want to sell? Why do they want to purchase? And ultimately, that will lead to the best financial deal possible for my clients.
In that vein, when you're going out and executing your due diligence to find out all those ingredients, is it difficult to ferret out? You know, it's almost a forensic study on what the motives are, what the situation is, but is that information that's readily available?
And that's where having a realtor with a successful past,
Mhm.
with clients who have had successful closings, with working with other realtors and other firms, you build relationships. And I've spent the majority of my career building relationship with other realtors. So I can work with them directly to find out what those motivations are. In this day and age where the average client has access to the internet and they work with all of the online sites, whether it's realtor.com, whether it's Zillow, Trulia, any of the sites out there,
Right.
they have much more knowledge at their fingertips now than ever. And so my job, in a sense, now is all about the negotiation, all about making sure that every I is dotted on the contracts, every T is, is
Yeah.
crossed, and making sure that they have a hassle-free transaction and get the best possible price for the sellers, and for the buyers, make them very comfortable that they've made the right purchase and that they'll be happy where they've purchased and where they're
Peace
going
of
to live.
mind.
Peace of mind.
Makes sense. We're with Lonnie Mintz, Rodeo Realty. We're talking about negotiations, and we're broadcasting remote from 1285 Via Dinero right here in Solvang. This coming segment, we're going to take a look at all the features of this property. You can reach us direct, 888-888-2136, or click through and see the photos from this home at nelsonradio.com. I wanted to ask you from a coaching standpoint, and that really plays into what you do as a negotiator, as a professional representative in the real estate sector. When you're working with your customers, give me an example of something that you coach them to start doing as they begin their home search.
Well, as we begin to, especially with buyers, we can focus on the buyers to begin with. One of the first steps is identifying properties that interest them the most. And when we do view those properties, the real key goal is many times the sellers are actually present at the showings.
Does that make it difficult?
It can, on a number of levels. One is that you don't want to come in too excited. The other is you don't want to take a chance on offending the seller because their particular tastes may be different than my current clients. So ultimately, my goal is to make sure that the bones of the house fits their needs.
Right.
And then if they love the house, if they love the area, if they see themselves living there, then we can talk about how we get through the process of having them purchase the property and having a deal reached that is agreeable for them.
What do you coach them to stop doing?
The main goal is to stop doing your research in regards to exact prices that you find on the internet. Many of the internet sites now will offer what they call an estimate. And while I sort of relate it to the Kelley Blue Book of real estate. Kelley Blue Book, for those of you who don't know, is you can go on and see how much your car is approximately worth. And these estimates will give clients an approximate value. However, many of these websites, their information can be a bit dated. And so website X may say that properties in this area are worth exactly $1 million. Maybe that's accurate, maybe that's not. And that's my job as the coach, is to provide all of the information, the relevant information, to help my clients understand what that true value is of that property.
And how do you coach them on what to keep doing to make your job easier, to allow you to execute your expertise?
To research as much as possible, to understand the process from the time they start looking through the properties, through the tanglement of the residential purchase agreement, which for the layman is the purchase contract. And that can be a very complicated document. So the minute I start working with the client, one of the first things that I do is I put them in touch with the lender. And the lender is my partner. The lender can help them understand what they're purchasing and how much they can afford to purchase. A lot of times, families, individuals, et cetera, will make the mistake of looking for properties because they think they have a number in their head that they can afford. Then when they actually sit down with the lender after they have identified a property, they realize that that property may be out of their price range. And that's a big mistake many families make, because after you've looked at Mercedes and now all you can afford is Honda doesn't look as good. And not that there's anything wrong with Honda, all you Honda owners out there, but if you've been looking at Bentley and Bugattis and you can't afford it, they just don't look as good. So the number one step that I advise all of my clients is to sit down with a lender who is looking out for their best interests, who can review their financial statements, their tax statements, and give them down to the dollar the amount that they can afford. And then it becomes my job to make sure, if we get in a negotiation, that I can get them that house in the amount that they can afford.
Great advice. Lonnie Mintz, a professional advisor, a true negotiator that represents you well with Rodeo Realty. He's going to stay with us as we go to focus on 1285 Via Dinero, this beautiful estate that we're broadcasting from right here in Solvang. This segment brought to you by Satsi Demirkova. Satsi leading the charge for changing a generation in her initiative to eventually stamp out human trafficking. And it's a fabulous cause. You'll be able to find out more about that by clicking through at nelsonradio.com. We'll also have our e-guide, the 5 keys to negotiating for your house successfully, on our website at nelsonradio.com. Or you can call me direct, 888-888-2136, 888-888-2136, or click through at nelsonradio.com. Stay with us. I want you to hear about this beautiful estate, 1285 Via Dinero. We'll be right back with Lonnie Mintz. Welcome back to Nelson Radio. We're broadcasting not at our Burbank studios at KTLK AM 1150, but broadcasting remote out here in Solvang from this beautiful estate, 1285 Via Dinero. And we're going to break down this property, take a look at some of its beautiful features, some of its appointments that make it special. We've been doing these remote broadcasts across the Southland, and I'm excited to be up here in the San Ynez Valley. And with us, we have the co-listing agent from Berkshire Hathaway, Brett Ellingsberg, and also the builder of the home, Gary Riches. And let me just give you a quick snapshot about this property. Now, we'll have the photos up on our website at nelsonradio.com. You can also contact me direct at 888-888-2136, and I'll put you in contact with either of the professionals that have brought this property to market. But 1285 Via Dinero, it's just a short drive up a private gated road to this exclusive property, 4,500 plus square foot home, built in 2000, single story home, really has a bed and breakfast feel to it. A 2-bedroom, 710 foot hideaway guest home in the back of it, stunning views of oak studded hills and valleys, a sparkling saltwater infinity pool that rivals most spa resorts. With that kind of introduction, how come you're not buying this home, Brett?
I'm actually happy where I'm at, but this is a wonderful home for anyone that's looking for the San Ynez Valley lifestyle. This is a wonderful opportunity. It's an incredible location, centrally located in the San Ynez Valley. Wonderful panoramic views from just about every room, and the house is just beautiful, well built, well laid out, incredible floor plan for living, and just a wonderful, comfortable location. And wonderful property.
Something that as I toured through the property, and we've been broadcasting from some beautiful luxury homes across the Southland, like I had mentioned, but some homes simply don't have that flow. And it seems that this property and its design, it is designed well. The property flows from one room to the next. It makes sense.
And it's a very comfortable home for either casual living or full entertaining. This is a home that serves both purposes. It's very comfortable to live in. It has an easy floor plan, very large open rooms, in-suite baths for all the bedrooms, and just incredible location. Now, if you wanted to open it up for entertaining, a wonderful location. You have an outdoor, large patio, large pool area, incredible room for people to be spread out on the property.
Gary, you built this property, president of Gary Riches Construction Corporation. As you came into the subdivision and saw this lot, what came to mind?
I've been looking up here for years before 2000, and the only lot that was available in the 7-lot subdivision was this lot, and a friend of mine called and said that it became available, and I ran up here and bought it the same day. And it was a little bit of a challenge because even though it's 5 acres, it's more long and it's more shallow. It doesn't have a lot of depth. Mm-hmm. So that was the challenge. And I think we did a very, very good job. And it's a Mediterranean type house, early California Mediterranean, I call it, with a big, large porch where we're talking from right now. I just wanted to put a lot of quality into this home. And again, like you mentioned, it flows incredibly well. And it gives you a feeling of being on vacation every time you come home. It's interesting.
Let me ask you, and I always am intrigued by this when I speak with architects, designers, home builders. Your favorite feature is you've built, came to the conclusion of construction and now saw the home in its finished form. What stood out to you?
What stood out to me, I think, was the completeness of everything. I mean, it just seems like it's been here forever, and the comfortability of it. It's like Brett said. It's not. It's very, very. You can have a real good entertainment quality you can see of the house, but at the same time, it's laid back.
Yeah,
so it's something that we wanted, and it turned out great.
We're going to ask you to jump onto our website at nelsonradio.com. We'll have the photo essay of 1285 Via Dinero right here in Solvang and in the heart of the San Ynez Valley. Beautiful property stretched across 5 acres. We've been talking about negotiations, and I'm also going to reference you to our e-guide that'll be available on nelsonradio.com. 5 keys to negotiating for your house successfully. Due diligence is one of them. Knowing the home that you're going to be negotiating for. Is it in need of repairs? Are there seller concessions? Are there features that you need to learn about this any property? So Lonnie, one of the things that Gary mentioned as he built the home is that completeness and how comfortable the home is, and how something I noticed, it flows well room to room. But you know this home intimately. Your favorite feature?
My favorite feature is the great room floor plan. It really allows family and friends to congregate together in a relaxed atmosphere. This home also features vaulted ceilings, and you have a very cathedral feeling to it, but it's homey. Many of the large homes that you often enter will feel museum-like. Not this one. This is one you immediately walk in the front door, you want to sit down on the couch, put the television on, grab a glass of wine, and you just feel like you're at home.
Beautiful. One element of the property that I'm very excited about, and I have described it as this spa resort kind of feel, the saltwater pool, the spa that's in the back of the property, and the views that it has. Describe that for us.
One of the benefits of living in Friedensborg Hills Estates and Solvang in general is the sheer size of the acreage. Living in LA as I do right now, you see a lot of what we've coined McMansions, which are very large homes on very small parcels. This rests on a little over 5 acre parcel that has beautiful oak trees, views of the valleys and mountains, and you can absolutely go out in your backyard, start the barbecue up, sit in your spa, and look out at nature. In the evenings, there's deer, there's owls, there's coyotes, there's all kinds of animals out there, and you really do feel connected with nature.
Yeah, beautiful. Beautiful property. We'll have this showcased at nelsonradio.com. You'll also be able to be connected directly with Lonnie Mintz from Rodeo Realty and Brett Ellensborg of Berkshire Hathaway Home Services, California Properties. Click or call 888-888-2136. You'll also be able to pick up our e-guide, The 5 Keys to Negotiating for Your House Successfully, 888-888-2136, or nelsonradio.com. Stay with us. We'll be right back with Adam Evans and Tech Talk.
Nelson is a licensed lender under the California Department of Corporations, NMLS 331060.
This is Nelson from Nelson Radio, and it's important that we talk about a very serious issue. We had bad lending practices that led to the mortgage meltdown, but now we've got the challenge of deplorable customer service coming out of the meltdown. Bottom line, getting a new loan can be like pulling teeth without Novocaine. I've got the solution. Academy Mortgage and my team are injecting into the industry real performance and real accountability. Here are the facts. Appraisals in less than a week. Rate guarantees that can improve if the market goes down. Purchase transactions with our market-exclusive close-on-time guarantees and refinance transactions in as little as 30 days. Who would have thunk? Guaranteed rates and guaranteed performance from your mortgage lender. Call me, Nelson, an accountable loan expert for nearly 3 decades, direct at 888-888-2136. That's Nelson at 888-888-2136, 888-888-2136, or at strongcreditrewards.com.